Startup is the buzzword today. Everybody wants to get into the startup. Either he wants to do a startup, or he wants to join a startup, or he is just driven by the startup. Now, what is it that it drives so many people today to a startup? I mean, I remember my days, some probably 15, 20 years back when something like that was looked down upon. You want to join something, a startup? Why don't you look at some job which is, cushy, which is secure, which is safe? Probably today, I mean, people from IITs and IIMs, they want to jump the bandwagon and take on to the startup. Great. Where did this story started? This story probably started a couple of years back, maybe something like 4 or 5 years back. More and more people came into it. One of the biggest thing, everybody has seen the movie called Social Network, right? Facebook, that startup, great. It looks very, very challenging, very interesting to see that I'm a startup. Now, what does it mean? When you start, startup, or you even think about it, you need an idea. Now, what's that idea is? Either you are addressing something which is a pain point of a consumer or a person, or you are making him aware of the pain point of a consumer and trying to work on a solution, right? Or you are actually creating something in his mind that maybe it is an easier way for me to do it, and then you create a business model out of it. Interesting? You have a startup, you have a great idea, and you really get on with it. It's fine, the first stage of a startup is very easy. You go through the motions, you have the idea, you make a very fantastic presentations, meet people, they all say, great idea, you should go. What is next? Even the first stage of a startup, the seed capital, everybody will get it because small amount, small chunk. People want to put in the money, great, you pass that. Now what? That idea needs commercialization. That idea basically needs, how do you make money? Everybody is into it for making money, right? It has to strive. Then the stage comes, what is the proof of a concept? That idea needs to get translated into a proof of concept where people actually see what is the solution that you have built upon. Now, once you reach stage, you start demonstrating, you see the pitfalls, you go through the motion, you go to the market again, raise few more, couple of $millions and start with it. That is where, you cross the threshold of you have minimum amount of money, you've got a proof of concept, you've got a product ready. You are now getting into the market, and that's where you start getting the challenges of a startup. The moment you start testing the waters into the market, you suddenly realize it's hard. It's hard to sell. It's hard to convince. It's hard to get consumers. It's hard to get money. No one is going to, entertain you. You are not from, a big daddy who you will get respect everywhere and all around. Now, that is where the dilemmas of a startups come. That is where, the dilemmas of the ideas come. Entrepreneur typically is a breed, they love to fly somewhere around 30,000 feet or above. They're always buzzing with the ideas. The, success of a startup is always something like a pair of two people where there is an entrepreneur who is buzzing with ideas, he is really thinking hard. And there is something called a person who's always pulling his shirt down saying that, boss, come to the ground. That's not going to work. Let's face the reality where we are. And if you have this team of two people, that's where that startup is definitely going to make a success. It's going to work. I spent some time, it's almost 10 years now I have been working with a startup. My 15 years of first career journey was really in a hardcore organization, and then I suddenly decided, not willingly, that I jumped into a startup. I went into a startup by fluke. My first was what? A mobile VAS company, mobile value-added services. I'm talking of a period which is before your WhatsApp. It was all still building on a SMS. Those were the days this company was creating different value-added services products for a mobile. You know, ringtone, caller tunes, astrology products on the mobile, SMS gateways, everything. Indian Idol was going, it was a great hype. We were doing big money on Indian Idol. You know, just to give you an example, in the last 8 days of the Indian Idol, when it was a finale, in 8 days I received 25 crore SMSs. 25 crore into 50 paisa is what money I made in those 8 days. Brilliant. I was so happy. Great. Next year what happened? People started disliking Indian Idol. I mean, I started shuddering. Caller tunes, new movies come, people dump the old songs. Again, my business started shaking up and down. Astrology, I mean, you create some brilliant products, brilliant ideas. I was amazed to see people used to pay about $100, $200 to get an astrology product. They will subscribe to an astrology pack. Every day I want to know what is my forecast for today. I used to find it very stupid, but yes, it was a business model. It was my dhanda, my karrat. My business model, which was really on a consumer test. Anything you do with that, you have to be really careful where it is driving you. Your business can never be, a very steady growth if it is really based on a consumer psychology or it's a taste. Now that is where we started realizing this business is not going to go anywhere because it's an SMS. We need something. So in 1.5 years, we decided to pack the bag, sold it off that, and got off it. My second venture, which, now you see, when I talk about a subject, we saw the threat early on. We saw the threat that this model is not a long-lasting, this model is not going to make the business really big unless I actually join hands with somebody on a technology platform or I just shut it down. That's what we did. Second, I went on to a venture which was into all of you watch television, right? All of you watch television. There is a television guide, you see it. Actually, I joined a startup which was doing a television guide. Even today, this company gives the television guide what you see on your television, whether it is Tata Sky, Airtel, Reliance, whatever it is. It's that company's product. Now, it was like a very small one. First of all, that idea itself rattled me. How does one make a business out of creating a television guide? I have got thousands of television channels on one side. I'm right into the middle. I have got all operators on the other side. What am I doing? I had team of writers, I have team of editors, I have team of, people who are getting the content, and I used to write. Small business, you can see who are my consumers. My consumers are all operators, all big daddies sitting on money. I am a small person, and all channels on the other side, again, huge in themselves. I'm right squeezed into it. I was still struggling to make money. Fantastic experiences I got into those, some funny, some hilarious. I used to write, you can imagine thousands of channels, so many languages. India is a very diversified country, and I used to struggle with it. But as a startup, I had a shoestrings budgets. I did not have deep pockets to spend on technology, solutions, buying the licenses, everything. So, I used to always tell my people, guys, be innovative, come out with out-of-box ideas and do it. So one day, just sharing this very hilarious story I came across, that guy came, sir, translation into other regional language. So I said, do whatever you find you best. So he did it, and I did not know what he used it. I got a frantic call from an operator saying that, what the hell, you converted a program, it was a U program, you made it a program. I said, what do you mean, A program? So he said the name of the program was Pyar Ka Bandhan. I said, yeah, so? He said, in that language, the meaning of that, it's got converted into Pyara Bandhan, it just got into A. Then I suddenly realized what he has done. He used Google Analytics, converted it, and changed it. See what happens. When you try to take a shortcuts, I got hit with my consumer, I got hit with my content, both. I mean, channel was screaming at me, the operator was screaming at me. That's another problem, I face it. Idea of this business was, can we launch a first television guide channel into the country? Brilliant concept. Everybody knows that it works in Europe, it works in US. Can we do it? Well, as a neutral company, we decided to take on. Me, my partner and me, we said, great, let's build on. The VCs were behind us, they paid money. We built a model. Neither am I from the television business, nor he was in the television business, but we started doing it. And we built a channel. It got, in 2 years, we put in all our sweat, put the distribution in place, put the content in place. It was running to 30 million homes into India. It was in the first 50 of the TAM ratings. What happened? The revenue model of this just sucked because the media agencies did not realize how do you price this channel. When you say guide, the perception in the mind is what? The perception in the mind is that, okay, you will see it for 5 minutes and you will go somewhere else, right? Now, if you are doing that, how should an ad agency price this channel? And that is where the struggle started. All our 1.5 years work, everything, all the pieces were in place, but this was not in place. What happened is really, we were forced to look at the hard way. And that is what I call it as snakes. It is nothing but opportunities and threats. This was looming large as a threat on me because television business or the channel business require huge amount of money, right? Now, what was the choice? The choice was one and very simple. Either you switch off the channel, get out of it, or the whole company will go down and it will just eat up. Because, see, as a startup, it is always a temptation. Maybe today, people have not realized, maybe 2 months down the line, maybe next month something will happen, maybe next month something will happen. That doesn't happen. If you don't take those conscious calls of getting out, you are stuck. The whole venture will go down. And that is where I say, try to see what is really threat and what is in a real sense a threat. Maybe you need to change the direction of the company altogether, and that is exactly what we did. We shut this out and we went the international way and we did it. But again, innovative way. I actually went and won some tenders in the Middle East, doing a television guide. After getting the tenders, into it, I realized how that goddamn thing I want to do. This is in Arabic. My reverse journey started and I started searching what to do. Somehow I succeeded into it and I did it. Now, this is something what I call, when you are in a startup, you really need to see very clearly what is your object, what's your DNA of the company. Is it technology? Is it the people? Is it service? What is your DNA? Just stick to that. The more you try to digress from it, it is not going to work. It will just stretch your limited management bandwidth and the money everywhere. That is what we took the decision. The another thing is that if you are able to see the opportunity somewhere, try to see how you can grab it. It may be small, it may be minuscule, but if you can see the big picture behind it, that big picture, if you are convinced that you can make it, try to get that opportunity. We did it. Actually, I picked up a company which is, just about 1 crore of rupees into it, and he was making the money, what? 2 lakh rupees a month. But I knew what he was working on. I knew that there is a great opportunity which I could do it. And you will be surprised to know with that thing which he was doing it was on a big data. He was collecting a data. I could see how I can build it. I immediately took that company and made the data completely nationwide into the whole Middle East region. I realized and I knew that the piece what he had and piece what I had, if I make it, I actually made mobile into a remote. I actually removed the remote from the system and my mobile started talking to the television. And that is something which somebody from outside just picked up and I started making millions and millions of dollars into this. Now you see, I somehow could sense it that there is something around this piece, I could build. There is a technology solution. And I picked up and I got it. Now, when this whole journey started for me, there were lots of ups and downs. Another question is about the people. Startup is always about the people. If you get right kind of a people, you can do wonders. Again, you have a person, you feel he's a great, person outside into his world. Maybe it's not from startup. I think somebody who is not from a startup, or if somebody is not ready to change the mindset into a startup, he is not a fit for you. You know, when the transition happens, I have experience, you pay crores of rupees to him as a salary, but the needle of your revenue or your product doesn't move from this place to this place. Then you keep thinking 6 months down the line, what should I do with this? Within 6 months, can I ask him to go? What will happen to my business? How long can I sustain? By the time the year goes, your money is sunk, the business does not get anything at all. This is again something for a startup which is very essential. You need to see it whether I am taking the right people, right decisions, right technology, and where am I heading to. I finished my this startups and I realized what did I do for the last 7-8 years, A very quick decisions. Many a times I felt that whatever decisions I took, probably 20% of them were not right, I shouldn't have taken those. But I never had time to, think, sit back, more analysis, more time, and go for it. It was not there. So the speed with which you take a decision, you have to work because you are always, these VCs, venture capitalist. This whole venture capitalist, is a very threatening phenomena. Sometimes I feel because they will be very sweet. You will get money, but the moment they put the money, they want 3x, 4x, 5x times the revenue and the returns. Can you deliver it? If no, there is a direct tussle. So speed, the right decisions, courage to change the business model in itself to the changing environment, courage to reverse the decisions what you have taken, and seeing that right opportunity. People put the money in an opportunity is great, but can you really convert it? And, your feet to the ground, because I have very clearly seen, especially in the technology world, if you are dealing into it, you always feel every technology is good. This is good, that is good, everything is good. But can you do it is a question mark, So startup essentially is something, I went to Plus your mindset of a multitasker and your, another quality which a startup people should have, absolute shameless. You have to be brutally shameless in asking. If you hesitate 1 minute, 2 minutes, nobody is going to be, you have to be very, very clear about it is, what it is. Because that's the way the business is built, you should know. But sometimes you also need to see the big picture, So I think startup is an exciting journey. I enjoyed it. I finished my venture and I have gone to another startup which is really into agriculture. Now this is another different concept. Never tried before. I jumped into it and I'm trying to figure it out my way out, whether I can do it. It's a great story. I could have easily stayed on there. It was very easy for me to continue with it. But I think somewhere that bug had taken into me and so I left. I said, let me try something new where I can. I think startup is great. It's very exciting to work because whatever you do, right or wrong, it's there on your table to see, you have to face it. There is nobody behind you to, point the fingers or show it. You're making it or you're breaking it. So I think I love the startups. The more I'm working in, great story, but just be careful that a couple of things you should take into picture. I think that is all the limited thing I'm going to say.